So didn't try. Okay. So let's see where were we. Let's see where were we. Right. Okay. So we had a one second. Yep. So what we did was we did this V3 implementation, right? We had a product class, right? Now in the main, instead of calling the product class directly, what we did was we first of all built a builder class. What was the use case of this builder class? This actually acted as our converter, so that, or let's say it acted as a kind of like a middle layer in which we will actually create a builder object. And using this builder object, what we'll be having is we'll be setting all the properties with any kind of a validation. Okay, so we will first of all create a builder object, and once the builder object has been created, then actually we pass that builder object in the product class constructor. Okay, this product class constructor actually takes the builder object and then puts all the corresponding validations here. For example, you want to check whether the price is greater than 0 or not, so on and so forth. All the validations can go inside this corresponding constructor, right? I hope everybody remembers this much part. Now, how can we make it slightly more better? Any suggestions from anyone? Okay, people are still joining. Okay, so my question is, how can we actually make this slightly more better? Okay, what's the issue in this? Okay, one issue, like one question can come to your head is that what's the issue with this kind of an implementation? I see one small issue here, that first thing is both of our class are slightly separated, right? The builders, the product builder, this builder class called as maybe product builder, has no existence without the product class. Like both of them are slightly very tightly coupled, and like both of them depend on each other. Keeping them separate, is that making some sense? Or maybe we could have done something else. Now, one more issue is there. In the main class, you are creating product p is equals to new product and you are passing the builder object. Now, you are actually creating problem for yourself. What's the problem that you're creating for yourself? The problem is that somebody can pass null here, right? Somebody, let's say, doesn't even pass the builder object altogether, right? That would be a problematic scenario for us because we don't want the builder object to be passed as null inside the product constructor. Can I say that? Yes or no, everyone? Like this can actually cause issue, right? Because then our code will be dependent on what the user behavior is. Yes or no? Yes or no? One more issue that I'm able to spot here is that in order to create a product object, if there is any client who wants to create a product object, they need to know about the builder. Builders, as I mentioned, the existence of builder is slightly, or I would say solely because of the product. But because the client has to actually know the builder, I believe that is a problematic scene, right? That why does client needs to know that there is a builder? We first of all go to a builder, create a new builder objects, set all the properties in the builder object, then we pass that builder object to the product. All of these extra hassles the user has to go through. Can I say that? Yes or no, everyone? Can I say that? This is like extra hassle for the user, right? We can store client data in hash map, then prepare builder object ourselves. But the moment you start preparing client data in hash map, again there will be problems, right? That maybe you have what mistakes in the keys, spelling of the keys. Anyone? Builder can be moved as an interface and then have concrete class implementation this builder. In product class, we have a pass reference to this builder interface. But can I say, let's say we have product. So we have product builder, then we will be having category, then we'll be having category builder. There will be one entity class, one builder class, one builder interface. Three classes for everything that we have to prepare. Can I say that? Because there is no reusability in these builders, right? There are three issues I just mentioned, Vinayak, right? There are three issues that I just mentioned. Let's talk about it. So, repeating again, there are two to three issues that I can see with respect to current implementation of the builder pattern. The first issue that I'm able to spot is that, let's say you have a product entity. You create a product entity and then you create a product builder. Later, let's say you have a one more entity category. So you create a category class and the category builder class. Then let's say you have order, then you have order class, order builder class, and so on. For everything, you have to make two classes, right? Now, due to this, whenever a user has to create a product, the user needs to know that you first of all have to create a builder object. Then you set all of these things in the builder object and then you pass the builder object. Now, because of this, the problem that can occur is somebody can pass the builder object as null. This will actually break your whole code, right? And you cannot expect that, okay, user will never pass. Why the user will pass? Because you always have to write code considering that user can make as many mistakes as possible. Your code should be robust. That these are the set of problems. Can I say that? Can I say that, everyone? We can use the constructor of product class in which we will use the builder object. For how do we do that? Another class between client and builder. Again, then you are just creating extra classes for just creating one class. Problematic, right? For the user where the user doesn't pass anything, we can take, then you have to manually keep extra checks, right? You have to manually keep extra checks. Let's say the user passed null. Let's say instead of null, user passed an obj object, the capital obj object of Java. Then what? Anything. The user can start passing anything, right? You have to make sure that user mistakes are not something that you have to encounter. Okay. Okay, let's see how can we solve this. Okay. Now, in order to solve this, let's create a v4. New package, v4. In the v4, I'll create a new Java class product. Okay. I'll copy everything from my product here. Okay. I'll copy everything from my product here. Okay, and let's write a slightly complete implementation. Okay, and let's take, for now I'll copy paste the builder as well. For now I'll copy paste the builder as well, but I'll refactor. Okay, so I'll get the builder, and this builder should look something like this. Okay, cool. So now we have a builder and a product, and then we will be having a main class, new file, main. Okay, almost similar thing I'm going to copy from the other main class as well. Okay, because now we are going to start refactoring, so we need the almost the similar setup. Public static void main, and here we go. This is good, and we just need to do builder B and product B. Okay, cool. This is good. Now let's come back. So now the issue that we saw was the user needs to first of all create a builder object, set the properties in the builder, and then pass it here. And the problem is maybe they don't even create a builder altogether. So first of all, let's resolve the issue of the user's hassle to separately create a builder object. How about inside our product class? Okay, let's first of all do this thing as well. This dot price is equals to b dot get price. This dot brand is equals to b dot get brand. Okay, I guess we didn't write the method, right? So let's write complete methods. Get name, get price, get description, set name. Okay, let's get others as well. Public void get brand. Okay, and we are going to return this dot brand. Okay, let's say string. Let's return a string. Okay, so let's say b dot get brand. Okay, and then what? Description, this dot description is equals to b dot get description. This dot created at is equals to b dot, let's write a get created at. Okay, get created at, and return this dot created at. Okay, okay, cool. Same thing we'll do for updated at. Let's write a getter for updated at, and let's return updated at. Let's write a getter for image. Return this dot image. I guess images are what? Array list, right? Okay, so let's make it list of images. Okay, here also we'll do that. B dot this dot updated at is equals to b dot updated at get updated at, and this dot images is equals to b dot get images. This should be images and images. Okay, so cool, this looks fairly good. Now what I'm saying is, here the user is first of all creating the builder object, right? How about inside the product class I expose a brand new method. Okay, inside the product class I expose a brand new method called as create builder or get builder. So I'll say public, and we need to make it static. Why we need to make it static? Because we will be calling this method before the creation of the product object, right? So it cannot be a non-static method that is called by the product object instance. We need this method before we actually create the product instance, right? And we'll say builder, and I'll call it as get builder. Okay, and then here we'll say return new builder. And now here instead of saying builder B is equals to new builder, right? Instead of saying builder B is equals to new builder, how about we say product dot get builder? We'd say something like product dot get builder. This looks fairly better because now the user is just dealing with the client is just dealing with the product class, right? Okay. But there is still some inconsistencies. Why? First, they still need to know about this builder B, right? They still need to know about this builder B and they have to pass this builder B here. Okay. So what I want is I want to stop the user from passing anything irrelevant to our constructor. What if I make this constructor private? The moment I make this constructor private, you will not be able to call this constructor here. Okay. Then you might be thinking, how do we get the object then? Right? How do we get the object then? Product P, how do we get it? So how about in the builder class? In the builder class, let's say we have a public product build method, right? For the timing, I'll say return null. But what I'm trying to say is here we will say b dot build. The moment, sorry, this should be product. The moment you do b dot build, can I say we have taken the access from the user to actually say new product. If the user or the client cannot say new product, they won't be able to pass irrelevant things there. Okay. Now you do not need to pass the builder B. Instead, you will call b dot build. But wait, because we have now, and why did we make the constructor private? Because we don't want our user to call this constructor. We don't want our user to call this constructor or client to call this constructor directly. If our client class cannot call this constructor, don't you think our builder class will also won't be able to call this constructor, right? We won't be able to do a new product here, right? We won't be able to do a new product here. What is the solution for that? Now, because you have made the product constructor private, only the variables of this particular class can actually access it. Only the variables of this particular class can actually access it. So how about you move this builder class? You actually move this builder class content, cut it out, delete it from here. Where is delete? Delete. And you make a public static class builder inside the product class altogether. The moment you do that, let's see, where is the error coming from? Okay, there are some breakage, but we'll resolve that. But now what you can actually see is that this builder class, this public static builder class is now having access to the product class, right? And now in the constructor of the product, I can pass this. What is this? What is this coming from? You can see the product constructor takes a builder object, right? So if you want to pass the instance of the builder, you need to pass it this. And now what has happened is that you have lost the access of the builder here, but at least the whole builder logic and product logic are now at the same place. Now, what if I remove all of this like this? We say product P is equals to product dot get builder. Okay, product dot get builder. Now, if you remember, inside our builder, we made a dot build method, which actually creates the product object. So we can call dot build. But then when we will set the values, how about whatever setters you are having, let's not make them void. Let's not make them void. But instead, let's make them return a builder instance. and let's say you return a this from here. Now what is going to happen? Product.getBuilder gives you a builder instance. On that builder instance, you can say dot set price, let's say 100, and this set price method returns a builder object on which you can say dot build, right? Let's just quickly check. Is there a spelling mistake or something? Da-da-da. Oh, sorry, we did it on set name. We did it on set name. So name is, let's say, iPhone. Can you see now? You have a product builder dot get builder. You do a set name dot build. And similarly, let's say we update the set price also. Let's update the set price also to return a builder. And we return a this. Now you can say dot set price 100 or 1000, right? Here you will return a, here also you'll return this. Okay, so you can see now you can do product.getBuilder.setName.setPrice.build. How clean this is looking. Let's do one more. Let's do for brand as well. Return this and let's make it return a builder. Okay, I'll say dot set brand as Apple. Okay, let's do the same for description as well. Builder, and we'll say return this. Okay, and we'll call dot set description new Apple iPhone. How cool is that? Okay, and any other setter that we wrote? I don't think we wrote any other setter. Set brand. Yeah, we wrote one setter get category, so we'll make it builder and we'll say return this. Let's set the category also. Okay, dot set category, let's say category is mobile. And now look at this code. Our previous implementation, let me show you the previous implementation. Our previous implementation was looking like this. Our current implementation is looking like this. Which one do you think is better? In my opinion, the new one is far more better. And just to revise what we did, we first of all made our product constructor private so that not any client can just directly call our product constructor. And we exposed a get builder method, which is a static method that can be directly be called from our product class, product.getBuilder. This getBuilder creates a new builder. When you are creating a new builder, then you can set a lot of values, all of these setters and everything. I said that after setting all of these values on the builder instance, let's call the dot build method, which will call a new product, right? But then how this will call new product if product constructor is private? So we moved our builder class inside the product class. And then we updated all of our setters to actually return the same builder instance, to have a syntax like this. Otherwise we would have required to actually do product dot get builder, then b dot this, b dot this, b dot this, and at last b dot build. If we would not have done this thing, no, that return a builder, return a builder, return a builder, then our syntax would have looked something like this. That we would have done b dot set name. Okay, I'm just writing it. B dot set name, B dot set price, B dot set brand, so on and so forth. And then at last we would have called B dot build and we would have said product X is equals to something like B dot build. Okay, this a syntax like this would have been working. But now if you see the syntax, this is far more cleaner. That you get a product builder, you will understand that okay, there is an object that creates a product. On that object we are setting a few properties, and the moment we call dot build, it gives us a product. That's the final implementation of our builder pattern that we would like to go for. Okay. How many of you guys are able to get this point? Time for questions. Yes, but we are not designing annotation, so we need to understand, right, that internally how that annotations work. And did you understand that why we made the constructor private? Why we actually called new product from the builder, right? Now you might be thinking any applications for it. So let's talk about that. Okay. Let's talk about applications. Okay. So can everyone see my Chrome screen, Chrome window? Can everyone see the Chrome window? Yep. Can everyone see the Chrome window? Can we do product.builder to get a standalone instead of builder? Yes, you can still do that. Vinayak, you can still do that. I'll show you the code in a moment, but okay. Now, what are the applications of builder pattern? If at any point of time you interact with microservices communication and you use gRPC standards, so if you search for gRPC Java, okay, then at any point of time, if you define a gRPC protobuf, for example, you define a protobuf like root guide, then to use it in Java, let me actually show you how the code looks like. Okay, you can see if you define, let's see, let's go up. Okay, let's say if you define a feature proto, okay, you define a feature proto, then if you want to create that proto, you do feature.newBuilder dot set something dot set something dot set something dot build. You can see feature dot get location, get latitude, and so on. So what you do is you actually define a protobuf like this. So let me show you one more example. Okay, so let's say let's take a slightly more difficult example so that we have more properties. Okay, see, so let's say you define a protocol buffer hello request. It has a first name and a last name. Okay, then inside your code, how do you handle it? You say hello response dot new builder dot set greeting. Okay, or request dot get first name, request dot get last name. See, setters and getters being used here. Okay, then hello request dot new builder dot set first name dot set last name dot build. This is indeed using a builder design pattern. Apart from that, in Spring Boot, there is an annotation called as @builder in Spring Boot. Okay. So you can use Lombok for this annotation. What it will do is if you annotate a class with @builder, it by default create a builder instance out of it. So you can say, let's say widget class with properties and you put a builder, then you can have widget.builder.name.id.build and so on and so forth. Right? So this also indeed internally automatically creates a builder. So builder pattern has a lot of applications and most of the application works on this particular syntax only that we have just created. Make sense, everyone? Like, are you able to understand the use case behind the builder pattern? Okay, so it's not like क्योंकि मेरे को पढ़ाना है और मतलब डिज़ाइन पैटर्न पढ़ाना है इसलिए पढ़ा रहा हूँ, ऐसा नहीं होता है. Like if at any point of time you will land up in Google and you interact with the backend code base of Google, you will see protobufs lying around like anything, and there will be a lot of builder pattern code being used there. Yes, a lot of ODMs also implement this. As I mentioned, Lombok based, if you install Lombok dependency, then in Spring Boot also you can have something like this. automatically. Like in nowadays, most of the places there will be some automated solution that will create the builder class for you. For example, in gRPC also, the gRPC compiler automatically creates the builder class for you. But in case you are the one who is creating the gRPC compiler, how do you do that? That's why we learned builder. And there might be situations where you don't have automated tools to create a builder class for you. Then how to implement a builder class from scratch? This is how you do it. Any questions, guys? Why does data validation should happen before the creation of object? Can't we validate it in setters? Rohit, we already talked about it, right? That why data validation needs to happen before the creation of object. First of all, it's a memory wastage. Think about it like this. Let's say you have a form. From that form, let's say front-end validations are not working because people are making a request from Postman. Okay. Now the problem is, if let's say a request comes to your backend, you want to create an entry inside your database. Okay. Now, if you will create an object with invalid data, what are the consequences? If I go by your suggestion, then I will be creating the objects and then doing the validations. Let's say somebody made a DDoS attack on our system and they are just sending irrelevant details. Then what will happen? There will be so many objects immediately being created inside your system. That's a memory wastage that is going to happen. First thing, can I say that, everyone? And then it's a resource wastage also. For example, let's say after validation, currently, let's say if I go by again by your rule, Rohit, that I have to create an object and then I do the validation. Let's say creation of the object in our case is a resource consuming task. For example, the object that you are going to create, after it's like once it is created, what the following step needs to happen for its creation. There is a TCP connection that you need to create. For that TCP connection, you have to go through a three-way TCP handshake, right? Once the handshake is done, then you actually get that object. And what if you created the object and the parameters that you wanted to set in that object were invalid? So you wasted a lot of resource, right? You wasted a whole TCP connection on your server system. That's bad. Are you able to get my point, Rohit? We already talked about these situations, right? Can I say that, everyone? So do you now understand the use case with builder pattern? Any questions? Any questions, guys? Please show the code once. Yes. I would like to see if you guys have any questions regarding the code, guys. I would love to take some questions if you have any regarding the code. Would it be cleaner if you use director classes? Like, I'm saying why we actually implemented it in this particular way, right? Is because we want to understand how exactly the internals of, I would say, a builder pattern works, right? I'm not sure if you are talking about director classes, then are you talking about a mapper class or a manager class? Like, then making setter functions return an object. Uh, I'm not sure. Like, what kind of a class you mention as a director class? Abhijit, would you like to unmute yourself and talk about it? Omkar says, what if we have setters apart from primitives? Every other property will be null, right? So you can have validations, right? If somebody tried to put, let's say you have a, like, for example, set order and somebody put null at that order, we will be having validations, right? Because the builder will be created, but product will not be created. Can I say that, Omkar? We have validations, right? Let's say if somebody did set images as null, okay? We have a set image, right? Let's say we make that public builder set images as a list of string images, and this dot images is equals to images, and return this. Now let's say if somebody passed a null here. So the builder object will get that null, but when we will be creating products inside the product constructor, we can have a check, right? That if b dot get images dot I would say equals null, then we can maybe do something, right? Okay, so this kind of a validation you can actually put. Abhijit, do you want to come on a call? I would like to understand about the director class that you are mentioning. I've never used a director class. Maybe I have used something else with this with the same use case but a different name. So I believe you are talking about a mapper class, but I'm not sure if there is something else. Abhijit says clear now. Okay, but okay. Any other questions, guys? What's the best practice to do validation? Is it in builder or product class itself? The validations should happen in the product class, right? Why should builder know about any validation logic? And if you will put validations in the builder, then it will never create the object in the first place of the builder, right? Are you able to get my point? Putting validations in builder makes no sense. Why? Because we started from there only, no? We had a product class and we were putting validations in the product class. We already saw the consequences of that. That if you will put validations in the setter, then the product class has been already created, right? Any other questions, guys? Guys, do refer the V1 and V2 as well. Do refer to the V1 and V2 as well, that what is actually going on and why do we need to have something like this. Do you guys remember why we um, were not having the validations in the product constructor and why all of this builder pattern happened? Code push कर दिया already, Vinayak. Guys, how many of you remember that why we do not do validations, why we do not do validations in class constructor, and instead we introduce something like a builder pattern? साहिब कह रहा है यस. बताओ साहिब क्या बताया था उसके लिए. गाइज मैंने रीजंस बताए थे ना. बट क्यों आपको कंस्ट्रक्शन से क्यों सेपरेट वैलिडेशन रखना है? मैंने उसके रीजंस बताए थे कुछ. मैं देखना चाहता हूँ कि किसको कितना क्या याद है. आई टॉक्ड अबाउट अ फ्यू रीजंस. यस, नंबर ऑफ पैरामीटर्स के बारे में हमने बात करी थी कि नंबर ऑफ पैरामीटर्स बहुत ज़्यादा हो जाएंगे अगर तुम कंस्ट्रक्टर में ही सब कुछ पास करने लग जाओगे. रिमेंबर, है ना? उस ऑर्डर ऑफ द पैरामीटर्स के बारे में याद रखना पड़ेगा कि कौन सा पैरामीटर पहले पास करा है, कौन सा पैरामीटर बाद में पास करा है. कैन आई से दैट? फिर then we saw that you can have actually your validations inside setters. Then what was the problems with setters? What if you have immutable objects, right? Apart from that, if you will put validation logic in setter, then the object will be already created. That will again cause problems, right? Then we went to that hash map based solution. so that we can have validations inside the constructor by passing a hash map. But hash map was having problem of key value pair spelling mistake. Then we came to the builder solution. Can I say that? Okay. So it's not like you just need to know the builder pattern. You need to understand where to use builder pattern. For example, if let's say your class only has two properties and it is never going to have more than two properties. So even if you don't use builder pattern, because you have to write some extra code for that builder pattern, right? It's okay. Let's say you have a complex number class. A complex number will be having two attributes: real number, real part, imaginary part. For that, even if you don't put, let's say, a builder pattern altogether, then also it's totally fine. Make sense? Because then there are only two parameters coming up. Got it? So when we have very less number of parameters, you can still avoid builder pattern. But if you want a consistent, I would say, behavior altogether, or whatever library or SDK you are building needs to have a consistent behavior, then you need to use kind of like a builder pattern altogether. Does that point make sense, guys? So please don't overuse design patterns, and instead try to make sure that you understand the use case. Okay. Now, which pattern Spring Boot uses? Spring Boot uses a lot of patterns. In Spring Boot, you can use adapter pattern, builder pattern is being used, repository pattern is being used. There is dependency injection use being implementing your dependency inversion, right? Apart from that, there will be factory pattern that is getting used. There is proxy pattern that gets used. Uh, Apart from that, internally Spring Boot uses singleton pattern, and to implement a lot of logic, you use strategy pattern as well. So I guess a lot of design patterns, any Java application, any big Java application or framework you make, um, I guess that uses a lot of patterns altogether. Does it make sense? We will be covering composite pattern, Gyanendra. It's more or less for a hierarchical data if you have, right? So we will be covering composite pattern in class. We can remove the empty product constructor on line 17. I guess yes. The empty product constructor on line 17. Where is that? One second. Let's close everything. No, now we do not have any empty constructor, right? We have a logical constructor there that is having some logic. Where is the empty constructor, guys? No empty constructor that I can see. Okay. Now I have a homework for you guys. Let me bring that in. Just a second. A lot of you guys must have used SQL, right? A lot of you guys must have used SQL, yes or no? Line 45 में. One second, line 45. Line 45. हाँ, वो हटा सकते हैं. बिल्डर वाला है ना, बिल्डर का कंस्ट्रक्टर हटा सकते हैं. हाँ, वो डिफॉल्ट वाला ही ले लेगा. है ना? अच्छा, तो I want you to actually figure out a lot of things. And make a slightly tougher one. Okay. This will be a slightly tougher, I would say, homework, but there will be a reward for it. So what you have to do is you have to kind of like prepare a custom query builder. Okay. Custom query builder should look something like this. So let me put the example use case in triple quotes. Okay. So let's say if you want to do a select name comma age from users where age is greater than 30, order by name. You need to make a query builder that is able to make SQL queries. Are you able to get this point, everyone? This is going to be a great project for you. It's not a small library or something. Sorry, it's not a small just class that you have to make or something. You need to kind of like make an end-to-end library altogether. I'm asking you to make a library. I'm not sure how many of you guys understand library, but let's say if at any point of time I want to make a Spring Boot application and I want to use your query builder. So I should be able to install your query builder and then use it. Are you able to get this point, everyone? Looks complex. It's damn complex. There will be a lot of things. Okay. There will be a lot of things, right? A few, I would say there can be level by level improvements that you can make. First, you can make a normal query builder that just returns you a query string. Okay. That just returns you a query string. Then maybe you can enhance your query builder to become an end-to-end ORM so that anybody can connect to any SQL database and then use your query builder of your ORM to create queries. Are you able to get this point? So I am expecting level 1 at least. First thing. Second thing, you need to ensure that at least good level of complex operations one should be able to do. For example, people should be able to do joins. At least one level of nested join should be somehow possible. So algorithmically, how will you manage it? Think about it. Make sense? It will be a nice mini project for your resume as well. So I'll push this one as well so that you have an idea of what to actually do. Okay. And whosoever will complete it at a decent level. Okay. Added homework. Okay. Whosoever will complete it at a decent level. How much time we need to make it? Take your time. Let's say you have 1 week. Okay. And whosoever will complete it, I will give like within 1 week all those people, like not one, not let's say, let's keep a count of 5. The first 5 people to actually complete it, I will be sharing you a JetBrains license that probably might be for 5 months, right? For free. Okay, you can use any JetBrains product that you want and use the premium, I would say, of JetBrains. Okay, so first 5 people who will complete this, I have given the evaluation criteria and everything as well. So you might have to figure out a lot of things. Maybe you don't know about how to prepare tests and everything. You might have to figure it out. So there are a lot of open questions for you that you have to figure out. Okay. मैं तभी कराऊंगा जब कम से कम 2 से 3 बच्चों ने कर लिया होगा. ये भी एक क्राइटेरिया है. मैं स्पून फीड नहीं करना चाहता हर चीज. तो जब और क्लास में सिर्फ वही बैठेगा, इसके सॉल्यूशन क्लास में सिर्फ वही बैठेगा. मैं इसका सॉल्यूशन करा दूंगा, बट इसके सॉल्यूशन क्लास में सिर्फ वही बैठेगा जो क्लास में अपने एफर्ट दिखाने के लिए रेडी होगा. कि मैं अगर बोलूंगा कि स्क्रीन शेयर करके दिखाओ कि तुमने क्या लिखा है, तो तुम दिखा पाओ. मेक सेंस? ऐसा नहीं है कि हाँ असाइनमेंट है फिर करा ही देंगे सर, और फिर जो सर कराएंगे मैं चुपचाप रिज्यूमे में चिपका लूंगा. मैं क्लास में बैठने ही नहीं दूंगा उसको जिसने अटेम्प्ट ही नहीं मारा होगा. और ऐसा नहीं है कि 5 मिनट पहले तुमने अटेम्प्ट करके दिखा दिया, मतलब मैं फाइल का क्रिएटेड ऐड चेक करूंगा, अपडेटेड ऐड चेक करूंगा तुम्हारे उसमें से, और फिर ही बैठने दूंगा. 1 घंटा बैठ के बेशक मुझे यही करना पड़े, तभी मैं एंट्री दूंगा क्लास में. बात समझ में आ रही है? वरना क्लास से आउट कर दूंगा. ठीक है, क्योंकि आई वॉन्ट serious people to actually be there. You can actually read that. I never read it, Omkar, so can't comment. Okay, cool. So we'll be wrapping today's session here. Okay. do attempt this homework. In the next class, we are going to, can you share MD file? I have already uploaded it on GitHub. Yes, today we'll be having 1 hour class only. We'll be continuing our discussion on more design patterns. Gyanendra also pushed a pattern, so we are going to also discuss that. That was already in the plan, right? But now you got a taste, right? That you have a problem in hand, and with that problem, you actually try to propose a solution. That's your design pattern, right? We also today's everything is on Meet, so I don't want too much things to be discussed on Meet. Otherwise, later it will hamper your experience, right? I guess Zoom should be up by the next class. Okay. So till then, take care, guys. Bye bye. Have a great week ahead and keep coding, everyone.